Okay, so we are going to continue with the color picker. Still didn't figure out this bug yet from this morning, but I'm pretty sure I could find it. I think I'm going to leave it though. Not that worried about it right at this exact moment. What I want to do now, I think, is the text input for values. So in this one, I want to be able to click here, do input, click here and do input. Um, Probably this is going to change. I think I might add like a button or something for copy. It's just going to say copy. And that's how we're going to do the copying. It seems like the easiest thing to do there. Um, so I don't know about like the pasting in. The pasting in is also kind of not useful, I don't think. I don't know. We'll see. I'll definitely do like the button for copy. It seems like the most reasonable and clear way to do that. But first, we're going to do the text input. So we are going to store in the context buffer. It's also we're going to add some. So I think I went a little like crazy with some of these structs. Like I don't think these need to be different types. I don't know. Maybe not. But anyways, we're gonna have an input buffer. It's gonna be like a static buffer, probably 64 bytes long. I don't see any reason for it to be longer. Obviously, like a hex is only 8 characters. This I don't think we're gonna let you put in like 64 decimals is a bit ridiculous. So not gonna let you do that either. So let us, where should I shove that here? This maybe I'm gonna look at later and see if there's any holes and maybe try to rearrange stuff so that there's not any like holes in this struct just wasting a bunch of space. That doesn't matter right now. So I think about got all of our state here. Let's just do this. We'll just do a char input buffer 64. Could be longer. I don't know. 64 seems perfectly acceptable to me. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do, I think it's easiest to just start with this one. Just to get things going. So that is going to be the status bar. Mode collides, hex collides, mouse button press. So that's all this code here. I think we're gonna not be doing this one anymore. Also, I want to just draw this rectangle because I think it's like too big. Not sure why it's so big, but it is, so. I think we just need to actually shrink it after we've formatted this text. Which means that this needs to be done before we do all of this junk. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna do hex size. And then we're gonna do hex rect equals, oops, hex, what did I call this? Hex r dot size dot width is going to be equal to the label size dot width plus the hex size dot width. And we're going to do this. Draw rectangle rectangle lines ex. Hex r dot raylib rectangle 3 red. Good. that was expected. So okay, so in here we've got this. This is more appropriate for what we want there. I don't care about like the height being off. Then the collision rect down here, we're just going to draw in green. So that makes sense. And we're going to try to approximate where you click and use that to give you like a cursor, but or maybe we're not going to do that. Probably we are. In which case it makes sense to actually like extend this off the end a little bit. Let's call it I don't know. Maybe that's too much. So you can click after it if you want to enter at the end, and then you can click anywhere inside it. So we'll try that. That looks fine. Let's actually just do this. Let's not do extra input pad. We'll do something like this, and we'll do this. So that's going to make it this a little bit more better. Something like that probably is good enough. Okay, so we've got that. Don't really care about the red rectangle right now. So if hex collides, we're gonna get rid of this pasting for now. We're gonna just leave that there. Leave that code alone. What is the label rect even for? Oh, for left alignment later. Okay. That's fine. So we do need that. And then we're gonna do Okay, so here we're not going to do this anymore. If mouse button pressed left, scale. Okay. We need another thing. We need another index here. Input IDEX. How are we going to keep track of what thing is currently being input? So this can be a slider 1, 2, 3, 4. IDEX 0 could be this. Yeah, let's do it that way. And then also we need an I32 input cursor, which is the cursor in the buffer. So that's going to crash, that's fine. So we're going to go back here. So X collides and mouse button left pressed. We're going to say input if let's have a different function that's going to be do text input. Let's put a mark here. I'm going to go out and find some place to put a do text input. It needs to be like above all the slider stuff. So here's fine. Now, should the do text input call just return any stuff immediately, or should it return something else? Is the question. Like, should it return the current state as the value it should be, or I guess like the problem is that this color is formatted, so it could return a union. Otherwise, yeah, let's not do that. Let's also, I want to make an enumeration. Enum input indices input X, input R, input G, input B, input A. These don't particularly matter that it's HSVA, RGBA, just something slightly clearer than some random numbers in this function. So this is going to be do text input it's going to take a target input. It's going to take the context. It doesn't need that. It just needs I'm not sure how to do the cursor selection. It needs to know like this total width and the selection fraction, I guess, or it can calculate it. Yeah, okay. So we'll do it this way. We'll do v2 um holy, the spam today has been bad. um so we're gonna do the width, and then we're gonna do, let's put this here, an input indice IDEX width. It has the mouse position in the context. We already know it's like collided, but we'll maybe do an assert. And then we're gonna do probably all we need. So okay, so first things first, we're gonna say if context to input IDEX does not equal -1, we need to store whatever is currently in the buffer into that index. And we don't know what format to read it in as unless we've done this. And in either case, we have to yeah, let's do this. We're gonna do this is slightly annoying because of a couple reasons. Um Okay, so we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do context, new color, color mode, new mode. Uh, um, okay, so here, this one isn't that difficult. This one is just gonna be, I think I already did it. So let's mark this. It's this, except different. So we already have the text. Scanf kind of sucks. It is what it is. Try this for now. I'll think about that in a second here. I don't know how to type this so it doesn't look like terrible, but do that, I guess. Okay, so not gonna store that yet. Okay, and then we're gonna do switch IDEX. We're gonna do context to input IDEX equals IDEX. We're gonna switch on IDEX as well. Okay, so input hex input R input G B A, just A here. So here what we want to do now is context to input buff, array count, context to input buff, format, percent 08x, lowercase, get formatted. This is gonna be it's like a function called pack. How did I do this in the other one? Before I did what to print this? It's kind of gross, but sure. Oops. Okay, we did this. I kind of need the position actually to draw this at. So we're gonna draw text here. We're going to need to measure the text and draw the cursor and blah, blah, blah. Problem with the cursor, though, is that we need to guess the cursor first. Okay. Yeah, how can I do that actually? That's kind of, the cursor is kind of gonna be annoying. Just draw the cursor on top of the thing, so we're not actually gonna guess the cursor first. But we do need a rect here, so okay. So we're gonna do x collides Let's just do this first so it's more clear where this is going. What I called this? Context. X rect. Okay, so we're gonna say, gonna do that, and then we're gonna do this is mode stuff. Don't care about that. This is what I need for this. Okay, this is where the problem comes in. Okay, so we can't do. There's gonna need to be like some different ordering here. So if you're hovering, we still want to do this coloring, and you haven't clicked yet. Then if you click, we're gonna get rid of that coloring, and we're gonna do something else, which is yeah, we're gonna switch this. So X collides and context to input mode does not equal input hex. Yes, we can do that. So we need this. Let's switch this up a little bit, I think. So we're gonna have set input mode as a different dealio. So what I want to do here is do text input. I want to keep this separate because I need to draw these things separately. So it's going to be very similar. Except it's not going to take a rect. It's going to do this part. If the input IDEX does not equal the IDEX, we're going to do this. Okay, so that's looking fine to me. I feel like this do text input could just be done at the end of the frame then, individually. And we don't need to like put this everywhere in the code. But that means that we have to make sure we're like printing the right thing. Hmm. Let's try to do this. We're gonna try to make this happen at the end of the sliders. So if we do sliders, which is somewhere here, we're not going to do that. We're just going to do this. And we're going to say, so when we do set input though, we still want to try to calculate where to put the cursor. So let's find, so we're only going to do this when there was a collision. So we're going to assert that point rect context to mouse position.rayvac r.rr. We'll just assert that in debug mode. And then we're going to do mouse cursor percent is going to be equal to, that's the cursor p. Cursor p is equal to mouse position x minus rect.position.x over rect.size.width. So that's going to give us a percentage in the rectangle where the cursor is. And then we're going to say, I don't want to run strlen every time. That's really annoying. I should just store the strlen. Yeah, I should just store the bufflen. Cursor and current len are two separate things. So we're going to say, maybe we're just going to store this position and use it in the do text input. That seems like maybe more reasonable. Okay, and then we're gonna just leave it at that, I think. This cursor is gonna be like highly approximate, but that's okay. Okay, so we can do that for now. Then we're gonna say draw text ex context to font context. We're gonna do context to input buff. We're gonna draw it in red for now. Context. Oh, we're not actually gonna draw the text here. Never mind. We're not drawing the text. We're gonna do the try to figure out what the cursor is gonna go now. So need to store here context to what did I store? Input cursor p. We still need to know what the length is though. There's no way around it, right? We need to know what that is. Okay, so we've got the buff len. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna say wait, so hold on though. This doesn't even make sense. Like we know what the buff len is. We know where like the position percentage is. So I mean, we can try this. This is gonna be like weird. It might just break everything. Or might be just really highly broken. The input cursor is gonna be equal to we're gonna clamp. So let's go back up here. We need to clamp this to 0, 1. Input cursor is going to be equal to context to input cursor p. You still need to know what the rect is for this. There's no way around it, because if we're going to draw the cursor in this function, which is what I was planning on doing, I need to know where the dealio is here. So in which case we should draw the text here as well. I don't see why not. just do it. Let's just do this, and then we will see how this one goes. Yeah, so this looks fine to me. Hello. Wait, that should have been above, right? Yes, I did mean that. Okay, sorry. This is correct. Okay, fine. For now, I'm just gonna comment this, so shut up. Oops. This is the wrong order. I was messing around. Where did status bar go? The status bar is here. So we're gonna just put this right here. Okay, so switch here. That needs to be adjusted, obviously. And this shouldn't be in that mode yet, because to fix I need to just fix this. So oops. Okay, so we're not in an input mode yet. So that's good, that's not showing. And we hover, that's fine, and then we click. And we assert. Let's figure out why we asserted there. set input IDEX. If context input IDEX does not equal this, don't think we need to assert for that one there. The 251. Yeah, we're not gonna assert there. Okay, so here, hover, click, still asserts. What happened that time? That time was more likely some stupid. So, okay, so bring this here. We go here, click. We are now in store formatted color, format, CM last. That's a bug. Yeah, that's a good point. So be it. I should have rebuilt that first. Well, it doesn't matter. I could have rebuilt that one. So, okay. So now if we click this, we still... This is how it is sometimes, you know? Sir, check collision point rect. Oh yeah, that's true. No, that's fine. What? Huh? I mean, this should be like test P, not... Wait, why is this height 0? That's just wrong. Right, so we need to pass in test P, but, test P instead of mouse. Let me, instead of checking test position, so let's just remove that assert for now. Because it's too much effort to fix that. What did I just do? Because let me see. So this hex rect, yeah, the should still have like a height though. Why is there no height? What happened to the height? Like, did I remove the height by accident somehow? I don't know. I feel like the compiler is telling me some. I'm sorry. This backtrace is like slightly wrong. Oh, so this is rect opposition. Yeah. Okay. We just need to pass in the mouse position. We can still have that assert there. It's just without the mouse position, we can't do. So mouse test P, test position. Okay, so now we're in that mode. If hmm, now the question comes is how do we get out of the mode? So if we're okay, so I think we need to, this is like gonna be a little bit annoying. So I'm just gonna use the washroom quickly. Yeah, so this is like annoying. The reason it's annoying is because we don't know where we have to check So we have to check if we are in. The thing is, we have to be able to check like what when we should be saving or not saving. So I think what we need to do is just, this is like a little annoying. If we need to set it to -1, just at any point we should be able to do that. Because otherwise, this is like one of the problems here where like that you run into if you're doing like immediate mode UI like this is, but there's like some sort of state that needs to be retained somehow. I mean, I guess there isn't really a, I guess it's not really a problem with immediate mode UI. Doesn't matter what you pass in here. Rid of this switch statement. Set input. What? Set text input index. Okay, if not hex collides and this and this. So go into here, we can move the mouse. we click off, we go out, and it changes stuff. So that seems fine to me. So then here, where we do text input, we have to pass in a color. Oh, sorry, that's the label. That's why that was above it. Hex color. Let's do this the same way. We have a position. What is this position? Okay, we're going to get rid of this positioning part. We're going to move that into the other call here. We're going to say this default is not needed. Something like this. We've got a this. We're not doing this. We're going to say color. Oops. Okay, so this is still being drawn. It can still hover. Let's just for now do if input IDEX does not equal -1, color equals red. So, okay, so hovering, click it, now red. Why is that like bleeding out of the, it's not really bleeding out of it, okay. Click red, click off, not red. So that should be good. So instead of this, we're gonna do hover color, hovered color, what's it called? Hover color. Context to hover color. So we do that, we click, it's gonna hold it, click off, it does that. So this color is going to be fixed. We're going to make this like the cursor color. Let's try to draw the cursor now. So we've got a cursor. We're going to say got our rec. We're going to say if r.position.x plus if it's I think we're gonna make this into like a box cursor if it's at the end, otherwise it's gonna be a line. So cursor rect is gonna be equal to r.position.x. Position is equal to dot x is equal to this plus. Hi Nathan, how are you doing today? Context to input cursor p times r.size.width Sure, what's your question? This is going to be equal to r.position.y. Okay, so this size is going to be r.size.height r.size height. I could see anyone get tickled as a prank. I don't know. That's like a weird question. I would most likely. I don't know. I have no idea. What am I typing? So this, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna say not this plus 0.05. 0.9 times times that. The width is going to be equal to so I need to know what the text width is first. This is a bit annoying. So we have to measure the text here to find the left aligned thing. But I need to know what the size is anyways, so I just need to measure this myself. M Okay, so this is going to be context to input buff. Then the position is going to be dot x is going to be equal to r dot position dot x. Dot y is going to be equal to r dot position dot y plus r dot size dot y minus text size dot y over 2. You just comment this out for now. Okay, so this is still fine. Then, okay, so we've got this, we've got all this. Still need to know what this input index is, to be honest. We need to know if we're drawing the input index one, so we'll figure that out in a second here. So if we're, so let me do this. If the input cursor P cursor X is going to be equal to this, oops, equal to this position, okay, so that is that one. Cursor width, so cursor X greater than text size dot X. And the width is going to be bigger. This is honestly going to be a little bit tedious here. Now I'm just going to do this way. We're just going to do 20 pixels. I'm going to fix this after. Otherwise, it's going to be 5 pixels wide. We're going to do that. We're going to do draw rectangle ex cursor r dot r where is this Raylib stuff? It's gonna be draw rectangle. We're just gonna do draw rectangle rect, I guess, or draw rectangle. Sure. Let's do this for now, and we're gonna do cursor color. I mean, that's actually like roughly correct. Cursor height should just be the text height, to be honest. And obviously we want this to be blinking, but I'm gonna do this after. All of this is gonna be after. So cursor height should just be the text size dot height. Position dot y, it should just be the same thing. That's still too long. Okay. Okay, so that we still want this like to clamp though to like how can we get it to like clamp to between numbers? So this is like where it's kind of annoying where you have to just say so like what I could do is pick the so if we go in here we pick like the last character so here we're gonna say if so up here we're gonna say if IDEX does not equal context input IDEX return, we're done. So okay, so now we have an input, so we can do this. We are in the input mode. And this should also be related to the actual cursor. So actually, probably we need to just calculate what the actual cursor is. So let's do, we don't need this code here. We're gonna use this. We're gonna do this is cursor trial X. Let's first of all so when we're hovering, I want to basically cursor is gonna be this code here where we're lerping. Input cursor T we need. So let's take this, we're gonna go back in here. That's not quite right. That's horribly wrong. We need to do this on every time. Why is this yeah, this part needs to be on every time. Just close this and reload just to make sure it's gonna work properly. Yeah, okay. So we need to do that every time, otherwise, like, it's just wrong, to be honest. That part is looking good. Then what we're gonna do here. Well, let's do our move towards here. So um need another parameter because the So, okay, so now what we'll do is we'll do this, and we're gonna make the cursor blinky. So we're gonna do F32 move towards. We're gonna do input T, input cursor T equals move towards F32. Um, to be target, not direction. Input cursor T context to input cursor T target context to DT and then we're gonna say if I think move towards like clamps though. If equals this. So if this equals 0, else this doesn't particularly matter, but the target will be 0. Okay, so then do text input. Um, so lerp v4, we're gonna do this. In here, we're gonna do cursor color. We're gonna do parameter is input cursor key. Color from normalized. It called pack raylib something. This stupid bunch of stupid useless work I have to do in raylib for some of this stuff. Okay, so that's way too fast. Also, I wonder if we should just make it lerp towards the background color instead of the foreground color. Yeah, it's like more reasonable, I think. But it doesn't need to do so at 8. It could do so at like 2. Or like 3 maybe. I feel like that's still too fast. It's too slow. Okay, something like that I think is good. Okay, so we got the cursor. I think I can only go for like another 45 or so minutes, so I'm gonna take a quick break to use the washroom, but yeah, I think I might only have 45 minutes or so left, maybe an hour if I'm lucky. But um, so we are gonna try to get this going. Also, I'm just gonna just get rid of some of this extra code here. So we're gonna do this like this. We won't actually have a reason to just store. Well, that's super ugly. So it's gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Okay, so we've got that going. So now I'm kind of doing the hard part, which is why this is taking a while. So once we do the hard part here, it's going to be really easy to add it for the rest of this. Or relatively easy, I guess I should say, rather than really easy. Um, so, let me think. The next thing we just need to do is actually calculate the actual cursor rather than this blinking cursor. And then that actual cursor is also going to let us get in a more approximate or more better position, less approximate position. Let's actually move this stuff down because it doesn't need to be there. Yeah, that's correct. So we got this, we got this. We're gonna do cursor width. I think like 5 or 6 is probably good, to be honest. Like it slightly occludes the thing behind it, but that's fine. I think what I'm going to do is actually, instead of doing it this way, we're going to make the target just be... Yeah, we're not going to make... Okay, I have a better way of making this look. So we're going to do this whole nonsense. Do this way. So we are going to actually, let's do this. That's fancier, I would say. So, I don't know, can this like all just be saved now? Let's just do it this way. Okay, so we've got this. Got our breathing cursor. We've got this. We're gonna do... We got cursor X. Cursor X is not a good position. For the actual cursor, we need to... We need to floor it, I think, for the... So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. We still need to know like the width though. This is like where the problem comes in, is where you want to know the width up until the cursor point, which is like kind of wasteful, but what you got to do. This should give us like a floored position. Oh, right, but in pixels, not in so then we still need to do like a guess. So we need to do so if we were to guess, I basically need to make a copied. Oh, I don't want to do that. It's so ugly. We know what the length is. Let's just make our guess this. So let's say note guess character index. So we're gonna guess a character index. We're gonna say that is equal to context to input bufflen times the position of the cursor as a fraction of that clamped to 1. No, so yeah, we need to make this a probably we're going to keep this as a float for now, and we're going to say cursor x divided by, and we need to clamp this. Oops. Cursor x divided by x size dot width. No, not yet. And then we're gonna do this. Then we're gonna do this. Why is that like way over there? Yeah, sorry, it can't be like the guess. But this index, we're gonna say, so here what we're gonna do is we're gonna I32 pair width is gonna be equal to input bufflen divided by, sorry, text size dot width divided by this. Not this, this. Then we're gonna say, it's like not a good approximation because f and like 1 are less wide than the other ones. But it might be good enough to work. good enough to give like a working index. And then we're gonna say um, plus character width times this is going to tell us what percentage of this total thing we should be using approximately. We're going to take the character width. So we've got a character width. Let's keep these all as floats. So we've got a character width. We've got this cursor, which is which percentage of the text width we've got. If we do this, we times this by the character width. We're going to guess how many characters there are. Then we're going to say cursor TSP times char width again. It's like way wrong, right? It's not quite right. So we are gonna figure out, sorry, this is a percentage. So we have a character width. We have let me just not use, let me move these down for now. Let's still just use cursor X here. Cursor X. But we're gonna do comment this part out. We're gonna do cursor X is gonna be equal to character width times the position X plus a character width times the number of characters. Which is going to be this times this, finally. That's like completely wrong, I'm pretty sure. Okay, no, so like that's gonna put us in here, but we're not getting like the... I need to like draw what I think the character width is, or what I think the index is. That's gonna be more helpful, I think. We're just gonna use draw text. Gonna be like the wrong font, but that's fine. Never mind. Draw text EX, we're just gonna use the same draw text EX. We're gonna do context to font, context. We're gonna do text format for now. We're gonna use so we're gonna assume that what's going on here? Like let's just not worry about this for now. Let's draw. I'm just gonna move this up here. Cursor X, which is gonna be the number of characters for now. Let's do cursor X should equal character like a guess position in number of characters. Fancy cursor is difficult. You just put like the cursor at the end, you don't have to worry about it, but if you want to put the cursor in the middle, you have to think about things. So this cursor input P is already like a percentage. I think we can just multiply this by this. Unless I'm like completely silly. Ravec, font size, context, font size. Spacing 0, color green. Shut up. Comment this out. Comment this out. Do this. We're gonna make it an int. No, I need to be able to see that. So I need to see that. Let's just This will be good enough for now. Not quite, because it's gonna, let's do it this other way. Let's do it the other way. Oh, okay, we can also just do, set up that warning. Let's do, that actually is roughly looking correct to me, actually. Like if I click here, I think we need to just add one to this. No, actually we don't. Probably we just want to like round this though somehow. So maybe like 0.5 or something. So if I click here, so then we're gonna, okay, so that's kind of looking correct. Then let's do this, cursor X. Cursor char. Cursor X is going to be equal to cursor char times char width but it should be okay. This should be getting the only thing is it seems to be an issue about getting the last. I don't know if we can get past the end yet. We need to add like a little fudge to the thing. That's like kind of ugly. So let's get rid of this green rectangle. Where am I even drawing the green rect? Here. Let's go to that. let's make a guess. So let's go back to do text input, and we're gonna say once we've made this guess for the character width, or sorry, once you've made this guess for the cursor character, we are going to calculate this properly. So we're gonna do we're gonna make like a temporary buffer in here. Okay, I less than sorry, cursor char I plus plus we're going to copy this stuff, then we're going to say there's some like checks that should be here, but whatever for now. I'm just going to ignore doing the checks properly. Okay, and then we're going to say v2 subtext size is going to be equal to measure text ex context to font context to buff context to font size 0, and then we're going to say get rid of all of this. That's kind of getting an ugly. Okay, so now, so like that cursor is now kind of looking betterer. But there still needs to be like a slightly better fudge factory thing going on here, which kind of sucks, but that's how you got to do it sometimes. Honestly, that seems fine. I don't. Right. So, yeah, this. I think it's just this determination of this is wrong. So, cursor char equals input bufflen. I believe it says 0.5 because it didn't seem to be wrong. Then we're gonna say otherwise we had before, which was like 6. Right. So This looks good to me, I think. So we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna say, so we now let's assume we've just successfully determined the cursor. Which case, if we're gonna have to determine the cursor like this every time, probably makes sense to not store the cursor. Actually, no. Okay, so no, we're gonna do this differently. We're gonna say, so if context to input cursor, what did we call that? Input cursor equals -1. We're gonna try to find a new cursor. This part is gonna go outside. This part is gonna be, yeah, so this needs to still stay here. This needs to be current context to input cursor. It's going to equal this. Array count context to input buff. Okay, so we're gonna do this. When we go up here and we set this, we're gonna say that. Guess cursor position. We're gonna do all this. We're gonna do this. We've got our cursor. Got our cursor rect. We're gonna draw it. Then we're gonna do the get input. So I've done the get input before. Am I even using all of these? I think I am. Okay, so Make sure this builds correctly first. That's looking pretty good. I think that's working as intended. Not the biggest fan of this. If Raylib didn't need like a stupid string length to measure the text, or if it didn't need like a stupid null terminated string, it would be a little bit better. um, this is what happens basically. This is the problem with null terminated strings. Is anytime you need to measure like a substring, you have to make a copy of it because there's no way to in place like I mean, I guess instead of doing this, what I could do is yeah, let's do it this way because it's slightly better than making a stupid copy. Um, no, it's the input cursor. Like this is just it's pure stupidity. Just so we know what we're doing here. Oops, let's make sure I don't break anything here. Okay, so we got that. And still move the cursor around. Should be good enough. So now what we're going to do is say, I'm going to copy my code that does this, to be honest, because I don't want to write it again right now. CD, others, 2D beamforming. Get pair pressed. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna copy this code. Make sure this is muted good. So we're gonna copy this. Oops. And we're gonna edit it till it fits into this program. Okay, so we have got to delete this thing that I accidentally pressed U on. Like an idiot. Honestly, that key binding's kind of dumb. Like most of the time I'm pressing it is wrong. But anyways. So while key is greater than 0, context to input buff input cursor equals on array count -1 context to input if the key is this. I think I'm just gonna let you put in garbage, and if you get garbage out, you know, garbage in, garbage out kind of deal. So we're not gonna parse this too hard here. We're just gonna let you produce garbage. Wait, why is this? Oh, because backspace is not a key in Raylib. This is kind of stupid, but anyways. This basically, I'll just leave a note here. Context to input buff, context to input cursor. So I think this should be all the code I need to have some input. Okay, so now if we go here, we do this, we go back. So it moves that back, but we're not saving the buff. That's kind of annoying. So enter doesn't do anything. Clicking off doesn't do anything. Wow, the spam today is rough. Is gotta reload that, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so not quite what we want yet. We should be printing the input box. We shouldn't be like So there's a problem here. So either we reparse it every frame, or we kind of feel like it makes sense to just re-save it every frame. But that's also like kind of annoying. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Because like what's basically happening right now is we can go in here and we can like move the cursor, you know, arrow keys don't move the cursor yet, but we are not actually reading that. So I don't know what the solution, how I should do this. So instead of doing like I don't know, like parsing it on every frame seems stupid. But on the other hand, yeah, maybe we're just gonna try that for now. This might not be the best long term, but we will see. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna do the only thing we're handling right now is that we're gonna say here um, parse and store text input context. Just gonna try it like this for now. Right. That's a weird. Something weird is going on with that one. Um, let's see. We can actually do that, and that's going to read in probably correctly. But I don't like this info method. I think it makes sense to just print the current buffer if we are on that buffer. In which case, we're not going to do this all the time like we're doing right now. I don't want to do that. That's like weird. So I want to do this. Like we want to do this. We want to do this here. Not here. When we're doing backspace, what are we putting in? Oh, this is even more annoying. We're gonna do like mem move. God, I don't like mem move. Yeah, so for new start equals input buff plus cursor so this is not new start, this is new end. No, sorry. This is just S. I don't have a better name for S right now. So input buff plus the cursor. We want to go so first I'm just gonna do mem move for now and we'll fix it after. I don't want to use mem move for this. Copy bytes in overlapping areas. So we're gonna say context to input buff minus plus context. So no, we're gonna do this first. We're gonna do input cursor minus equals 1. Then we're gonna say context input cursor Oops. Not quite. So this needs to get updated. Like, man, text input not fun. Bit too overzealous. This doesn't need the -1. Um, we have to insert in the buff. This is annoying. Ooh, okay, so we need to say copy from this +1 Oops, wrong button. Yeah, sorry, this is some stupidity here. Wait. We're copying from one beyond the input cursor to copy from. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this backwards because I think there's still like a +1 that needs to be in there, but just do this. It's almost right. Wait, and rebuild. Pretty sure I was right with that. I'm just like, okay, so let's just make sure we're looking good here. 2 BBA, that's not right. We should have 2-2 when that happens. Why did that? Yeah, I think I need to go. So I will see you all tomorrow. Either I will fix this myself or I will fix it tomorrow night. Um, yeah, so that is going to be all for me now. Ciao.